Hi everyone. Today we're going to go over my Super Bowl prediction. It is the end of the divisional round. All the four teams that could win the Super Bowl have been decided, and I predict that the Commanders will win the Super Bowl. They're currently at plus 750 odds, so this is a pretty good prediction here. So why do I think that they will win the Super Bowl? Why do I think? Number one is process of elimination. So I'm going to go over a few trends here. First is the Chiefs. There's never been a three-peat in the NFL in NFL history. There's never been a time where a team has won the Super Bowl three consecutive years. So that eliminates the Chiefs. Another trend that eliminates the Chiefs is that there has not been a last undefeated team in the regular season that has won this Super Bowl. Right? No last undefeated team in the regular season has won the Super Bowl. We've seen this with the Rams in 2018, where they were the last undefeated team in the regular season. They lost to the Patriots. Eagles in 2023, they were the last undefeated team in the regular season. They lost to the Chiefs. 49ers, both years by the Chiefs, they were the last undefeated team in the regular season, and they lost. So the Chiefs this year are the last undefeated team in the regular season. And the trend is that no last undefeated team in the regular season has won the Super Bowl. So that those two trends eliminate the Chiefs. The Bills have never won the Super Bowl. Extremely unlikely that they're going to win this year. And it's very rare for NFL MVPs to win the Super Bowl in the same year that they're MVP. In the past 20 years, there's only been two instances where their NFL MVP has won the Super Bowl: Patrick Mahomes and Kurt Warner. So 2 out of 20 years. Pretty rare for that to happen again this year. The Eagles, no team with the same starting quarterback and who lost the previous year's playoffs by more than 10 points have won the Super Bowl the following year. So this year, the Eagles, or last year, the Eagles lost the playoffs by more than 10 points. And now they're probably not going to win this year either. So we see through these different trends that eliminate the Chiefs, Bills, and Eagles from winning the Super Bowl. So that's one reason why Commanders will win. Now the second reason in favor of why the Commanders will win is there's this trend that I've been noticing that the wild card teams that have won the Super Bowl, they have always dominated the divisional round. Not always, but at a high rate, they have dominated the divisional round. We've seen this with the Packers in 2010, where they came in as a wild card team and they absolutely dominated the one-seeded Falcons, 48-21. Bucks in 2020 dominated the Saints, 30-20. Ravens in the 2000 wild card team won the Super Bowl, dominated the divisional round, 24-10. So we've seen this trend that the wild card teams that have won the Super Bowl, they have also dominated the divisional round. And this makes sense because if you're a wild card team, you're going to be an underdog in the divisional round. But then if you're able to dominate that game, that shows that you're probably also going to go on this run and eventually win the Super Bowl. That shows the quality and the toughness of your team. Another trend is in all of these instances, right? Packers 2010 wildcard team that won the Super Bowl, Bucks 2020 wildcard team that won the Super Bowl, Ravens 2000 wildcard team that won the Super Bowl. In the divisional round, they were down at some point and they still managed to win the game by more than 10 by at least 10 points. So the Packers were initially down in 2010 to the Falcons and they beat the Falcons 48-21. Bucks were initially down to the Saints in the divisional round 2020. They eventually won by 10 points. Ravens were actually down. Titans scored first. Ravens were down in 2000 to the Titans. They eventually won 24-10, more than double digits. And we also see this even with non-wild card teams, that if a team is down in the divisional round and then they absolutely just dominate, even after being down. We've seen this with the Chiefs in 2019, where the Texans got off to this very early lead, and then the Chiefs absolutely just dominated the remainder of the game, 51-31 in 2019, and they won the Super Bowl that year. So we've seen this trend where one of the common characteristics of Super Bowl teams, and especially wild card teams, is that they dominate in the divisional round, and especially if they are behind and they dominate, still dominate, and win the game by at least 10 points, then that's a pretty high likelihood that they're going to win the Super Bowl. One of the major characteristics of Super Bowl teams is that they dominate the divisional round, especially if they're behind and they still dominate. We see this with the Commanders, the divisional round, they were down to the Lions, and then they won by double digits. So this is a trend that I've seen throughout Super Bowl history, through wild card playoff team histories, and when they won the Super Bowl. This is a common trend I've been seeing. Another trend is that the wild card teams that have won the Super Bowl have ended the regular season on a greater than 3 game winning streak. So the Bucks were on a win streak. Packers in 2010 were on a win streak. Ravens were on a win streak, and the Commanders this year are on a win streak as well. I think 4 or 5 games in a row to end the season. So this makes sense psychologically and even from a team perspective that if you have momentum going at the end of the regular season, going in to the divisional run and going into the playoffs, then that momentum is real and that carries over. So that's a trend. And again, I want to emphasize the main trend here that really I've seen is the domination in the divisional round. And so that's one of the main reasons I'm picking the Commanders to win, along with the fact of process of elimination, Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, with the trends that we've gone over. So that's my official prediction. Commanders will win the Super Bowl this year based off of these trends. Also based off the fact that they've dominated the divisional round. And it's very hard as a wild card team to dominate the divisional round, especially because you're already an underdog. You're already on the road. It's already a hostile environment. You're on the road. You're already not expected to win. So to be down and then absolutely dominate the rest of the game is a characteristic of a championship caliber team. And so that's why I expect the Commanders to win this Super Bowl this year. And the trends also show that. Um, and again, with the Chiefs or the Bills, one of the other sort of trends noticed is Chiefs Niners happened in 2019, and then the Chiefs Bucks happened. Bucks were a wild card team. They beat the Chiefs the following year. So that could also happen where it's Commanders Chiefs, Commanders wild card team. They end up beating the Chiefs. But ultimately, my final prediction, whether Chiefs or Bills, that the Commanders will win the Super Bowl. They're at plus 50 odds right now, so it's a great prediction, great value pick as well. So that's my Super Bowl prediction. I'll see you in the next video.